College, I had teammates that were there with me for 4 years and were really comfortable playing with me, and then you come here and you have to learn your teammates in 2 weeks before you step on the court, and that can be really hard.
First, they're complaining that they don't get paid enough money. Then a girl like this shows up that's about to increase everyone's pay, and they're still about it.
Clark, a deep three! Look at it! Knocks that one down, and it's a big one.
Dan Patrick just said something that's gonna make a lot of people mad. He called out the WNBA refs for how they're treating Caitlin Clark. You won't believe what he said about the officiating in her last game. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Patrick thinks the refs are messing with Clark's chances of winning MVP and Rookie of the Year. Can you imagine this superstar rookie might lose out on big awards because of some bad calls? That's crazy. But here's the thing, it's not just about Clark. This whole situation could change the WNBA. We're gonna break down what's really happening with Clark, these refs, and why it matters for everyone in the league. Get ready, because this story is wild from start to finish. Now, let's talk about Clark's rookie season. It's been a roller coaster. 1 minute, she's breaking records left and right. The next, she's barely hitting the rim. What's causing this superstar to stumble? The answer might surprise you. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA as any rookie. She came in as the greatest scorer in college basketball history. That's not just hype, it's a fact. But here's where things get interesting. Her first big record in the pros. It wasn't for scoring at all. Clark smashed the all-time rookie assist record. That's right, the scoring machine is dishing out passes like nobody's business. It's like she decided to show off a whole new side of her game. And let me tell you, it's impressive. But wait, there's more to this story. Remember that game against the Las Vegas Aces? It was supposed to be Clark's big moment to shine. Instead, it turned into a bit of a nightmare. She went 1 for 10 from three-point range. That's not the Caitlin Clark we're used to seeing.
Any good shooter can really feel the ball off their hand like that. So I kind of know, and then sometimes I get ready to celebrate and fire up the crowd. And then the next time down.
She's really good. Let it be that. And the other players should shut the hell up. Like, nobody was talking about your league. Nobody cared about the WNBA until that girl.
Obviously, we see her shooting, we see her passing, we see all that stuff on the floor, but a lot of that comes from a lot of hard work. She's in the gym almost all the time working on her game.
So what's going on? Is the WNBA too tough for college's biggest star? Not according to Dan Patrick. He's saying something that's got everyone talking. Patrick thinks Clark isn't just good. She's a superstar, not a female superstar. That's a big statement. Patrick's point is that Clark can control the game in a way that few players can. It's not just about scoring or assists. It's about how she makes everyone around her better. That's what separates the good players from the great ones. But here's the thing, Clark's struggling right now. The physicality of the WNBA is no joke. It's a whole different level from college ball, and Clark's feeling it. She went from being on fire every night to fighting for every bucket. You might be thinking, well, maybe she's just not as good as everyone thought. But that's not it at all. Clark's got the skills, she's got the vision, she's got the basketball IQ. What she's dealing with is the adjustment to pro ball, and it's not easy. Clark's struggles go deeper than just adjusting to the pro game. Remember that 1 for 10 night from 3? There's more to that story, and it involves some calls that left everyone scratching their heads. Picture this, Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation, squaring off against the Las Vegas Aces. It should have been her moment to shine, right? Well, things didn't exactly go as planned.
Ball 2, drills it. The Fever leak out Caitlin Clark. A layup drill for her.
Paying Caitlin Clark $28 million. Good for freaking you.
When you talk about greats in this game, you know, the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and the Steph Currys, like they are putting her in that category, the Diana Taurasi's.
The game turned into a referee drama that had everyone talking. From the get-go, something felt off. The Fever couldn't find their rhythm, and it wasn't just because of the Aces' defense. The refs were calling the game tight, and it was throwing everyone for a loop. You know it's bad when both teams are looking at the officials like they're speaking a different language. Now get this, Clark herself couldn't believe what was happening. After the game, she straight up said, "I was surprised by some of the offensive fouls called." That's not something you hear from a rookie every day. She felt like she was getting knocked around out there, but somehow she was the one getting whistled. It's like the refs decided to play opposite day. Clark's trying to respond to the physical defense, and bam, she's the one in foul trouble. It's enough to make your head spin. But wait, it gets even crazier. The Fever had to use their challenge just to keep Aaliyah Boston in the game. Imagine that. Burning your only challenge to save your star player from fouling out. That's not strategy, that's survival. Dan Patrick didn't hold back when he talked about this mess. He said the refs were a huge part of how the game played out. And get this, it wasn't just the Fever feeling the heat. Even Aces coach Becky Hammond was losing it over some of these calls. So, what does all this mean for Clark and the Fever?
Like I said, she's a special player. She commands so much defensive attention. And I think that's one of the things that separates her in terms of winning that Rookie of the Year.
Caitlin Clark's popularity is influenced by her race and sexuality, stating we would be very naive if we didn't say race and her sexuality played a role in her popularity.
Caitlin decided not to shoot. Mitchell will hits the three, and that is the 19th assist for Caitlin.
Well, it's not just about one bad game. These kinds of calls can mess with a player's head. Clark's trying to figure out the pro game, and now she's got to worry about which way the whistle's going to blow. That's a lot for anyone to handle, let alone a rookie. But here's the thing, Clark's not just any rookie. She's the kind of player who can change the game, and that's exactly why these ref issues are such a big deal. It's not just about wins and losses, it's about letting the best players show what they can do. You know what's wild about Clark's situation? It's not just about her. This rough treatment of rookies has been going on since Candace Parker was new to the league. That's right, even the great Candace Parker got pushed around in her first year. Dan Patrick hit the nail on the head when he said, this has been a great learning process for Caitlin Clark, that there are grown women out there who are going to be physical. Candace Parker got roughed up her first year after leaving Tennessee. It's like history repeating itself, but with a new star player. The WNBA isn't just about skill, it's about toughness too. These rookies come in thinking they're hot stuff, and then bam, they're getting knocked around like pinballs. It's a whole different game from college, and Clark's feeling every bit of that difference. But here's the thing, is this really how we want our future stars to be treated? Think about it. We've got these amazing players coming into the league.
In that opportunity, Caitlin Clark for three, rattles it around for her.
More people go to a Los Angeles Sparks game this year than the Lakers. There was more people attending a Sparks game this year than Lakers.
Ready to light it up, and instead they're spending half their time worrying about getting bodied without a whistle. The refs are in a tough spot too. They've got to keep the game physical. That's part of what makes the WNBA great. But at the same time, they can't let it turn into a wrestling match out there. It's a fine line, and right now it seems like they're having trouble walking it. So what's the solution? Some people are saying it's time for a change in how games are called. Maybe we need to protect our star players a bit more. Give them a chance to show what they can do. But then again, do we really want to take the edge off the game? Here's where it gets interesting. Despite all this drama, Clark and the Fever are making waves. They've secured a playoff spot, which is huge considering how they did last season. It's like they're saying, yeah, it's tough out here, but we're tougher. Dan Patrick's got a faith in the Fever too. He thinks if Clark and her teammates can play at an all-star level, they could make some serious noise in the playoffs. That's a big deal for a team that was at the bottom of the pile last year. So what's next for Caitlin Clark and the WNBA? It's clear she's got the talent to be a superstar, but these ref issues and rookie challenges are no joke. Clark's frustrated, saying things like, I was surprised by some of the offensive fouls called.
38%, Caitlin Clark, another three-pointer.
Let's run that. I think her ability to lead this team as a rookie, she's really starting to step into that role, and I think that's exciting to see as well.
That's not what you want to hear from your rising star. But here's the thing, how the league handles this could change everything. We're not just talking about Clark's career, but the future of WNBA officiating and how they bring up new talent. It's a big deal. What do you think? Should the league change how they call games for rookies? Or is this just part of paying your dues in the pros? The way we answer these questions could shape the WNBA for years to come. So let's hear it. What's your take on fair play in the W?